Okay. Hey. All right. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Hey, everybody. I already know this is gonna be a longer stream and a chiller stream because I'm gonna be like doing setup and stuff on stream and taking my time. I'm just gonna hang out with y'all for a bit. So if you're here for like a quick, high punchy, all this stuff covered, sorry. Watch the VOD. In fact, like I'm literally making a fresh VM in the background too because I didn't like the old VM and I decided I'm gonna stream anyways. I'm just gonna do it. So I can bring up the old PM if I need to, but yeah. So thanks everybody for hanging out and joining me this Friday. I It's been a while. I've been traveling so much. I've been out of the office. Let me make sure I think I am seeing chat. Oh Fox, no. I mean I gotta like Crazy Bomb. You gotta really work up for that. I gotta like tease that like weeks in advance or well at this point years in advance. One day we'll crazy bomb it. Um, so let's switch over. It's the desktop. Like literally, you can just watch me all set this VM. It'll be the most exciting stream yet. Actually, the best part is I don't really need to put a whole lot of stuff in the VM. It's pretty boring. Um, so I think it should be fine. And can you tell I've had problems with Streambox 1 and Streambox 2 VM because we're on to Streambox 3. Although the I need to remember to disable the hardware side channel notifications, which is always like a pet peeve of mine because I'm not worried about somebody escaping my VM. They're welcome to on this box. This box has been old. Yeah, it's been over 2 years for sure. It's been a while. So wait, this was supposed to be done. Didn't Oh come on, where's the auto thing? All right, fine. Uh, Streambox. Sorry, we put the password in off stream. Require login automatically because that's the kind of machine we're going for here. There you go. Oh no, everyone knows how many characters my password is. So yeah, the idea though behind the stream, and if this VM ends up having too much problem, I'm just gonna switch to an old VM. So no worries on that. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to do too, I didn't tweet about this all yet on the Vector 35 account, so I'm gonna do that right now as well. I'm already logged in. Yep. And I'm actually curious how many people here are on Mastodon versus Twitter versus they just want to subscribe to YouTube and get it that way. I'm curious what people's preference is for. So yeah, I'm curious at what people. Don't tell them my password, Sergey. You can't tell them the password to my special stream box that doesn't have remote logins enabled. Um, at one point, oh yeah, Slack too. Good call, Valgrind. Yeah, I should probably do a couple of these things. All right, so I have this set up here. Can y'all hear that? I don't know if that's coming through. There's a train going by, and there's like, oh, there's demo going on a few walls over in the office, but it's really faint. And every now and then I can hear like this slight vibration. I wonder how much that's actually audible. The train though feels like it's pretty audible, but we'll see how the mic is doing. Um, this might be our last live stream of the year too. I don't know if I'll do another one in a couple weeks. Let's see here. Yeah, thanks, Amy. I know, like I figure a lot of people are just going to catch it via YouTube. Um, but I guess the other question would be going forward, are people interested in us? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you do that for me. Bye, Alex. Alex is going home for the day. Um, yeah, I wonder if people would rather have Mastodon versus Twitter. I actually asked on Mastodon recently about the best way to like bring like a company like announcement account over. There was some entertaining responses. It was quite the oh wait, I just realized. Facecam. There we go. Yeah, I meant to have that up. And then I think where is Stream Elements is not shown. Did I turn it off? Where is Stream Elements? Stream Elements says it's here. Right to front. Huh. Yeah, for some reason Stream Elements isn't showing chat on stream. Oh well. Yeah. Okay, that's good feedback, y'all. I do actually kind of like the YouTube now that they've got like the at thing, so you can more easily like get access to URLs. All right, we'll tweet that out. Yeah, I can totally hear the demolition. It's like this subtle vibration. I'm curious how much that comes through. So I don't have a real Vector 35 or Binary Ninja account over a Mastodon yet, so it's just my personal account that I'm kind of like gauging. I see people talking on Mastodon, but I definitely get far more interaction. I also just have a lot more Twitter followers, and I haven't really done as much to point people over to Mastodon and do that. So we'll see. I think we're just going to kind of be in the situation where you're going to see a lot of people in both places, and there's like no, it's not like everyone's moved, but we'll see. Yeah, there's probably like, and to be fair, for like the binge audience, the Slack is honestly a pretty good place to get binge news, anyways. So, all right, okay, so this VM is going. What else we got? Yeah, let's kind of get caught up. Um, Man, it's been busy here because we've done a couple of different like Binary Ninja trainings. I was up in DC for a little bit, and then I had like kids were sick, family vacation, Thanksgiving. It's just been like so much stuff going on lately that I just like realized it's been over a month since I streamed and I missed it. So uh, yeah, like Matrix or any kind of Mattermost or something like that for like an offline network especially makes a lot of sense. I feel like you see a lot of people using those. So my plan is basically, um, I actually debated internally. I was like, I really want to stream. It's been too long, but I also knew that I had like setup stuff to do on it, and I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna do the setup stuff on stream. So we're gonna hang out. Um, that was fun. Yeah, there we go. Mouse is moving things around, and it really does take like 10 minutes to throw up like a fresh Ubuntu VM. Actually, I kind of love it. It's one of my favorite things about Linux. Is even like in a VM, just like throwing up a quick usable instance is really impressive. And this is the slow mode too, right? Because I didn't catch the settings to change off the side channel mitigation. So I've heard a lot of people are moving over to Teams. I do know like Teams like quietly like ate up a bunch of Slack's market. I mean, just a lot of people that were already Microsoft shops and in general. Okay, that feels loud. Can y'all hear that? I mean, it's probably not as loud. Hopefully it's not as loud here. The funny thing is it sounds like it's happening behind me, but I know it's happening in front of me. It's just the way it's like vibrating the building. It's getting louder though. Yeah, this could be interesting. Um, no, I don't think that's okay. Hold on, I gotta see. I need to look, watch my levels next time I hear it. Okay. Yeah, no, okay, that's awesome. That's the mic cut off doing its job. Okay. It would almost be just kind of funny because now I just look crazy. Like you're gonna hear me like or see me looking around like acting all weird, but that's the audio equipment doing its job. Oh, okay, I gotta remember to turn it off. Turn it off, and I'm gonna change the I think I already changed the VM disk size. Let me check that because that's the other thing that I run into is I have too little storage space. No, I totally did not. That's super annoying. All right, thanks Ubuntu. I'm good. Nope, nope, nope. We're good. So let's shut down. We're gonna change our settings. I do like that out of the box we've got working like resize and copy and paste and all that stuff though. It's kind of nice still. I do miss spinning up. That's the only thing about my new M1. The new M1 Max are so stinking nice. They're just so fast, battery for days, and but I really do miss not being able to like or being able to just like do exactly this, right? So anyways, if you're not aware of this, if you've got like an x86 Mac, or even on Windows or Linux on an x86, they added all these like side channel mitigations to shut down like Spectre and Meltdown and all that stuff, which is great. It's good for security, but if you just want a VM to be light and peppy, then turn that off, and you'll actually get a noticeable. I forget if it's like in the range of like 10% or 15% speed difference that it costs you when those mitigations are enabled. So I really like that it's an option. It's actually kind of cool. Yeah, and actually just copying a snapshot would have been the way to go here too. The only thing I haven't I'm probably not going to install that tiling window manager that I was using before, at least on stream, because I'll just end up fiddling with it the whole time. So I'm just going to like throw Binja straight into it and just start going on like a fresh VM. I also kind of like that it's like here's what Binja out of the box experience is, pretty true to form. Well, that was weird. Hold on. Don't click and drag. I'm just gonna drag and drop. Oh, is this okay? I've noticed sometimes if you do this, first you open the Finder and then you drag and drop into that. Yeah, then it will actually copy it. Or I have like a ghost thing. That's cute. Let's try this again and we'll just copy it in. I don't know what it did. Okay. But yeah, other than that, I just throw on a terminal, add it to favorites, and there we go. Apt install OpenSSH. Sure, yeah, do all the updates live. The good news is I also want to, in the background, yeah, you like how I did the other password prompt off screen, and then I just YOLO'd this one on the sudo prompt because it doesn't actually matter. It wouldn't even be that hard to guess. Sweet. Hey, Michael, welcome. Yeah, we've got actually, you know what? I don't know if I have stream stats over there on viewers on like the OBS plugin I'm doing for chat right now. Usually I actually would keep the stream up, but this is fine. See, it's always fun though when you haven't updated your dev build, right? Because then when you do, you get a bunch of surprises. If you like see it incrementally, it's like the lobster boiling. If you get all the dev updates like in one big thing, or if you just go stable, you get like this Christmas of all these things happening. But if you're just always on dev, it's like, oh yeah, a little thing, a little thing, a little thing. And you kind of don't notice it as much. So I'm going to throw on OpenSSH server once this is done going, and then I'll just copy the latest dev onto here. Copy, get a VM on the outside ready to go. But the other thing I'm gonna do, let's do this, is I plan to. There we go. Thought I lost it. So let's see, does this work? Yeah, there we go. This is a spreadsheet. So Sergey has seen this before. I put this together. He did a live stream. Actually, I just realized it's over a year now, which is crazy how quickly time flies. And so I wanted to pull up, if you're not familiar already with OA Labs, I think a lot of people already are. But Sergey does awesome malware reverse engineering streams, lots of good topics, lots and lots of content. He's got a Patreon with even more content. Also, if you're not familiar with Open Analysis, this is like OA for OA Labs. And what's your Unpack Me is your service as well. So I want to make sure I get it all straight here. Right. So Unpack Me is a service. Sergey, and I forget your co-founder's name, but like have put together this thing for like automatic malware unpacking and extraction, which is awesome because you've got something like a Virus Total where you just get like a summary of things, and sometimes they'll be able to catch like unpacking or downloaders or give you other information. Just seeing if I can see the drilling showing up on audio. But this is specifically focused on like actually extracting things automatically for you. So it's really handy. There's even a Binja plugin that I did a little while ago. Oh, of course. No, like Sean, thank you. Yeah. Your co-founder Sean. So Sean and Sergey have built Unpack Me. And if you're doing any kind of malware analysis, it's super useful. Like I said, when we get Binja going, I'll show the plugin I did a little while ago that can kind of integrate it with it. You can pull up your API key and have it automatically like upload something and then download all the artifacts and upload those into Binja directly if you want to make your workflow a little bit faster. But they also have just a ton of other like research, and yeah, the YouTube is great. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool community. He's got a Discord So you should definitely check out all that stuff. And so last year, I realized it was in November when I pulled this up. Um, he was like, "Hey, let's check out Binja. I want to see if it could replace IDA for my day-to-day workflow because you've been using IDA for a really long time." And I took a ton of notes, and then I turned it all up into this spreadsheet for just little things, big things, whatever it was. It's really useful for me when I'm watching somebody use Binary Ninja, just to see what it is that they're missing, what they want to get. Let me fix this before I forget. So in his case, it was really great because we were had a forthcoming Windows release where we really wanted to hit a lot of the things that were specific to Windows malware. And so some of the stuff came from that, some of the stuff didn't. And I kind of wanted just to go through this list and be like, all right, well, there was a lot of things that we did this last year. So the actual list of Binary Ninja change logs in a year is far more than I'm going to even attempt to go through. That was just the last stable. And then there's the last two stables. So the last three stables make up this entire year, and it's more changes than I'm going to try to address now. But I thought we could highlight some of the highlights. We could go through this list in particular and talk about them, in part because one of my favorites that was on this list that I was really mad hadn't made it yet, that lasted a whole year and I felt like it should have been faster, is now in testing. And so I'm going to preview that one on this stream at some point too, which is specifically when you've got an enum and you want to apply a macro to it. So at the last stable release, the 3.2 stable, we said improved enumerations. And if you read the blog post on that release, we talk about kind of some examples, and we show if you have an enum and you can apply it to a location, you could always you could apply it to an argument, but now you could do it to other things. But you had to do it by hitting Y, changing the type of a variable or of the thing where the enum was going, and then it would do it for you. And it's yeah, it worked. And in some cases, it actually worked even better, than IDA, for example. Out of the box, message box A and IDA, at least last time I tested it, just showed you the constant value. It didn't do the OK as the type here for that particular one, just as a random example. But Binja as a whole wasn't as good because you couldn't just have a whole bunch of enums and pick some constant and then say, this is a constant of 5, show me all of the enums that match that and let me choose the right one and apply it here. And that got added just in a test branch. It's been this week that got added. Also, the PDB stuff got really good too. Yeah, so in this release, the PDB support is fantastic. I don't even know if I don't think that was even a list of, at least from the OA Labs stream. I think there were some other things that but that wasn't explicit one of it, because we always had PDB support. It was fine before. It just got a lot better. So our ability to pull information out of it got much more accurate. The support for PDBs, it's automatic now. It just we'll do it for you by default. You just open it up and it's oh, I see PDB. Can I go get it? Yes, great. You don't have to remember to manually do it. So anyway, that was another one there. But yeah, so that, I'm excited to try this out. I have literally not tried it yet. I'm gonna be doing my first look at this UI. So this is, again, it's a test one. It's not even on dev. So to your point, Fox, Windows kernel is actually still a known issue. So there's just straight up right now an issue. We don't have the type libraries that we need for that. I should remember my own organization name. Right now, if you look for kernel on open issues, yeah, that is still an issue. It's still an issue. So I don't actually expect that even in the next release, which is actually a lot of the features are already about done on that release. This is the following release, so this will probably be more March timeframe. So unfortunately, yeah, Windows type libraries Windows kernel drivers in particular could be a lot better. Yes, Kat is here. Totally not biased at all about this new enum feature, are you? I love doing this stuff kind of blind. Yeah. Yeah, so we will we still are working on the Windows type libraries for kernels, and there's two other Windows type related things that I think are in this. They're already in progress. Like Peter actually has one of them basically done. It's the one he's got assigned to himself here, which is some of the MSVC and the libc, which I don't actually understand the difference. Um, I haven't actually looked into it enough, so I'm not really sure. But those are both in the short list for the next few weeks or month to get done. But then this is the one that we're talking about here, which is like, great, you could mainly apply the type, but we need to actually be able to like have a UI and have it be fancier. So actually, that reminds me, Kat, if you have a sample um, binary that you use that is you've been testing with, I think I saw one in some of your screenshots, and you don't mind sending it to me. What's the easiest way to get it to me? Is this? Let's see if Slack is on this thing. I think it's gonna load. Let's see. It's been so long since I actually used this machine here that it might not do what I expect. I don't know what it's doing right now. Anyway, all right. So our VM is up. We should be able to copy stuff into it. So let's pull up Binja. Let's grab the latest test build. Let's grab the latest dev and stable. We'll kind of copy everything over, and we'll start working through the list, and we'll start checking out the features. Although I'm going to start with the Enum stuff first because I'm excited to see that. I want to play with that. Binary Ninja Linux 3.2.3906. And my SSH key has changed. Yes, it has. Thank you, SSH. So try to copy it again. Yeah, I love having to remove the same thing twice. That makes perfect sense. All right. So there's that. Also, I want to try to figure out does drag and drop work now? So here's my stream license file. Why are you dragging? It's weird. Okay, if I open the folder up. And I don't trust the GUI unzip. I don't know why, I just never trust the GUI unzip tool. So, and I'm just gonna put my license directly in place if I can drag and drop it. Otherwise, we're gonna copy it in. An invalid drag type was used. Cool, good job. I don't know whether to blame Ubuntu or VMware. Honestly, it could be either way here. So let's copy that in. I actually had that exact command in my command history. It's clearly not the first time I've done this. So, all right. So this is, I just grabbed the latest dev, and just for folks following along at home, like if you wanted to do this yourself, you can actually get the installer for dev directly. If you're not aware, recover. You can just change the drop down here to development and then get like whatever email your license is under, and it will send you a fresh dev installer. So you don't have to download the stable build and switch to development in the UI. So let's run it. Let's point it at the license file. Oh, that's a fun bug. Oh, apparently I didn't turn on Do Not Disturb. So let's turn that on. And then let's message my neighbor who just messaged me that she should check with my wife to find out what her kids are up to. All right. So I don't know why the UI is glitched here. That's kind of weird. I blame Qt. You hear me blame a lot of other people, don't you? Okay. So here we've got our, wait, my license expired. Oh no, it didn't. I know what happened there. So this is actually kind of a fun feature. If you've got a license file that had like an old expiration date, but you're online, Binja will be like, oh yeah, by the way, now you still have new updates, and we'll update your license file for you. So, and then this is the welcome dialog, which I don't see very often because once you see it once, it goes away. So I think if I literally just restart it's going to get rid of that license expired. Or do I really not have a license that... That would be really funny if I actually have an old expired license. No, I'm pretty sure I don't. No, this is like, it's just a random license I gave myself a while ago. I think it should still be valid. Actually, no, there's a way to tell. And also, why are you... Oh, I missed it. That's fine. That's hilarious. So it just downgraded itself. This is actually a good point. This is one of the downsides to directly downloading a dev build, is the default update channel is still stable. And now that our updates are so fast, it will actually downgrade itself if you're not careful. So I've just made it stable accidentally. And also, yes, now it did also update my license file. So if you... I'm not going to show the about dialog because that will give you my serial number, which is a bad idea. We need streamer mode in Binja specifically that doesn't show your serial number in the about dialog. So yeah, note to streamers. Oh wow, Slack finally came up. That was ridiculous. I'm just gonna have that. I don't want something inappropriate to be showing up. All right, hold on. Just in case there's something private by default that's gonna pop up on Slack here. No, Slack is like dead. What in the world is wrong with this thing? Yeah, I don't use this. This is like my old laptop. I'm just thinking of how I wanted to get files onto it. I'll airdrop it or do something else. All right, so I'm quitting Slack. And all right, let's go back here. So what I like to do is I like to have Binary Ninja, and I like to make just a separate copy for dev. And in this case, I'm actually going to make a third copy for test. And so since we've got the regular one, I'm going to make the test one, switch it over to the test branch, get the latest test, or sorry, the dev branch. So, and this is one where y'all won't see all of these channels. I've like flipped a bit to make my license like a developer license that gets a few extra things. But you can still switch to development builds. So I'm gonna let that go. Patched any bugs? Oh, sorry, I'm a little behind. Which bugs are we talking? Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, yeah. I should have made that closer. It's too far for you to reach the chat to scroll. I mean, people like, I don't know, I kind of feel like when you like a game like Skyrim, there's no, like, they don't really care about the exploits so much. There's no, like, financial incentive for them to actually do that. Unlike a, I don't know, WoW or something like that. Or like a competitive, a competitive multiplayer one. Okay, so I've got my dev build. There's my bench of dev. Oops, nope, I don't want to kill a VM. Gotta remember I'm using control as my hotkey now. Okay, and now, nope. Test. Now we're gonna bring up bench test. And that's the one that has the new, let me check and see if. All right. Let's see if I can ask for that binary over there. This one we are going to oh, I don't know if I turned that off on the other one either. That's actually really important. I especially like for these boxes, I don't want it to auto update. Yeah, okay, I did. All right, so back over here. Yeah, this VM and like the graphics settings are a little like weird. It's probably like GPU acceleration or something. All right, but internal test builds. Now this looks spicy. Let's see what test build 4445 has in store for us. And I believe if we did it right, I know fast call right. I'm a fraud. I use my Linux and VMs. Linux is objectively the best VM platform. I'm not a huge fan of it as the native unless it's a server box, but I love using Linux in a VM with like a Windows or Mac host. Although these days I can't go back to Windows. I've tried several times the last couple of years, and it's just like they put advertisements. Wait, where we go down in the like the start menu. Like nowadays, oh, it's like they're trying to make people hate Windows. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so let's open my favorite and yours, binls, and see if we can find some constants. This is actually probably a pretty bad binary to go just find some random constants in. I should go grab some. I mean, these will work. They're not interesting constants. Um, so actually, wait, hold on. Let's just do this. If I just hit M, ooh, okay. Let me refresh it. Thanks, QT. QT, you're ruining it. Or graphics drivers, one of the two. Actually, hold on. I think there's a display. I think if I turn off Accelerate 3D, that fixes that glitch. But I'm gonna shut down the VM, so I'll test that later. So, okay, I mean, there we go. So I selected this constant, and if you, yeah, that's a great summary. I'm getting Wayland for sure. Yeah, no, I know Labs. I need to actually like get like a stripped down Windows machine. Soon TM. Uh-huh, sure. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. What was it? Linus Tech Tips just was like actually ripping on Windows and laptops because of the power save shutdown stuff. But okay, I'm gonna get back to the fun stuff. Like y'all feel free to keep chatting. But so this is really interesting. Oh, there's one minor. Okay, so one. Where's my notes? I gotta make notes here. Although if Kat's on the stream, she can probably do that too. Um, this is yes. Just let me make a note. Okay. Scroll the enum. Like in the case of a large enum, you'll notice. So like I selected this number. This variable was 2, and it shows me all matching enums that contain a value of 2, which is part of why I chose 2, because I knew there would be a lot of enums that match it. Even in this particular case, it's just an ELF file, and so there is like a lot of kind of built-in default types for it versus ones that I've made. So in this case, if I change the type of this thing to sh type, the enum value will be sht symtab. So it's showing the preview. And also, if you, okay, I was going to say earlier, if you use IDA a lot and use this particular feature, please give us feedback on this thing, because this is still, under active development as we try to figure this out. This, I think, is a search, right? So I can like search for type, yeah, or whatever other like you want to filter these things for. And by default, you'll notice this thing is checked down here. And I think it's, yeah, this preview is showing me what it's going to set the type to and what the value will be. Like, so if I click, I've set the type of this thing, and so it's automatically decoding that enum now as that value. Interestingly, oh, I think this is this doing this just via display as? I forget how this ended up being implemented, if it's via the display or via the type system. When you change that enum. But let's see if I hit just M again. Oh, it's doing the pointer value itself. Yeah, so it's on that and that particular. Oh, that's an interesting one. If I want to change it back. Okay, so that's another feature to add to it. So this is a reason this is not on dev, right? This is like admittedly very, very early. This was literally prototyped just a few days ago for the first time. We've kind of been Kat's been working on it a little bit, but like I expected bugs. This is completely expected. It's honestly in a really nice state for just a little bit of work. Yeah, I know this has been one that several people have been. Oh wait, right click on one of the entries. Oh yeah. Edit the enum. This is the new one I just was asking about earlier, and it got added. I haven't tried it yet. So okay, hold on. Let me finish making the notes. Although okay, if Kat's here, she can remember it. But the scroll to the thing on the right, right? So like if you have a really big enum, there we go. There's a good example, right? When I select this one, it should actually make sure it focuses the enum that's highlighted, right? So focus highlights. We need to be able to reselect after I've already made something in enum. I want to change it again. That was the only other thing I noticed. But yeah, okay, so let's do this too though, because I want to like, so this is just read only, like I can't change stuff in here. This is meant just to be a preview of what the type is that you're gonna be applying. But if I edit it here, yeah, you can make a change live using the edit enum dialog, which was just the edit type. Very nice. And then yeah, so here's the other thing too. Like if I turn this off, in this case, every enum I selected matches the value of 1. So every enum in this particular file anyways has that has a 1 in it. But if I find some other constant like 7, you'll notice not only have 4 things, but now if I turn this off, there we go. You can see all of these things match now. And are these sortable? Not sortable. Not a big deal, but that might be one. Sortable table columns would be kind of nice because so you can see like this is like, yeah, it's not going to decode it because this enum doesn't actually have a value for 7. So you can force it just to show you all enums if you really want. But like the default there makes a lot of sense. I mean, this was originally implemented like in one day. You had something like actually working a little bit in one day. And yeah, like this isn't meant to be a perform thing. It doesn't really need to be. It's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah, even if there's like an API for exposing it or something, I don't know, to change stuff back. I'm not sure what the best way to do that is. We'll add that to the list. Yeah, these visual glitches are killing me in the VM. That's what I get for making a new VM from scratch. But yeah, this is really nice though. Automatically matches, and it matches the enum member name. I wonder if like another column here, because there's like, look, there's a fair amount of width. You could actually have, just as a reminder, like the fact that this is 7. I know you can kind of see it if you select any of these and you look at what matches, but putting the 7 here as well, I guess when you do that, you can see it too. I don't know, just kind of brainstorming. So, oh, and then clicking the icon. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cute. It prepends it that way. Okay. Interesting. So that's to make a new enum. If you want to match one that doesn't exist yet, you could make it right there. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. I didn't know they did that. It like keeps them attached. That's cool. Like a modal on top of a modal. That's just a Qt thing, I assume. It's kind of nice, but yeah. So, okay. And part of the reason that this excites me is because if we go back to this list right here, almost done. Oh, I can't write to this yet because I'm not logged in. So, yeah, this particular feature here, this is one of the few remaining high priority issues left over from Sergey's stream last year. So, dock the windows. Oh boy, dock widgets. Yeah, probably not. Like in general, probably not. Oh, adding an enum by hand? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that's why Kat was saying that. So there's no like builder for doing it now, but I think I can just do 1, 2, 3. Does that work? I don't remember C syntax, so probably not. Oh, right. Do I need here or afterwards or both? Probably both. I don't know, just afterwards. Yeah, don't judge me. So I just made an enum. I didn't give it a name, but you notice it actually kind of cleaned that up for me. It also will default to putting the values for you there. But if I now uncheck this, you can see my anonymous one is here. And now I can edit it, so I can call it whatever. And I could change these constants if I wanted. And lie outrageously, right? But now, yeah, actually, oh, interesting. So edit actually makes a copy of it. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it's not the worst thing. Let me see if I edit this though. Again, there will be bugs. This is very early. Why? Let me resize something so I can make you. Yes, thank you, UI. So if I put 7 as one of these constants, then we'll see it like automatically match. And let's call it 7. And if we do this now, yeah, there we go. So now we've matched our 7. Yeah, there's the workflow. So creating a struct. I mean, it won't really help us for this M workflow, but sure. Like over here, you would, in general, to create a struct, if you're in already the type view here, you can either click the plus up here, which, by the way, I think that's where the M, it's the same exact icon, I assume. Yeah, because it should be, right? Get people used to doing the same thing. So it's add a new enum here. Oh, that's funny. Escape should cancel. Yeah, instead of having to click it. But yeah, so to add a new struct, you would do that over here. And you can actually do it using the create new type dialog. You can just type in here and create a struct that way. But I'm lazy, and again, I would never remember like semicolons and whatnot. So like, you can just enter the size and then whatever the struct is, and then from here you can do the same thing. You can actually hit Y, and you'll notice it actually turns this padding into like these little like things here. But I actually think it's better to like just like you can select a block of stuff and then say 8, for example, which makes them in 64s, or 1 that makes them chars, or like you hit asterisk and it turns them into an array. So that's like a 68 byte char array, or hit 2 and it turns that into a single int16, or select a bunch and then hit 2 and star. And yeah, so you can do like these number hotkeys, or just like click one of these offsets and hit Y and make it something else. So like I can actually make this enum whatever. If I know this, and do I have to give it? Well, I'm gonna apply an enum. Do I just make it? Yeah, I mean you went 32 the type. I don't know. Again, I don't know C structures. All right, you got some stuff for me to post in. All right, let me. I can't copy and paste, so I have to retype. Oh goodness, no! I'm throwing that in paste bin. Yeah, I can see if that works. So paste bin it up, and now pastebin.com bvvyrx8. So I can already guess that without these other types, it's not going to work. I would maybe be able to get, I don't know offhand if I can pull them from an executable to pull them in, right? But, so this is, oh, or it's just going to work. Did it? Oh, okay, I'm wrong. No, it totally just worked. Apparently. Oh, those are just separate names. That's right. I forgot that. Now, in this case, though, I think the other names, oh, it adds them separately. Oh, wow, yeah. It did exactly the right thing. So that's a part of all the new claim parsing that Glenn did a couple months ago back. Since we're not using Clang to do our type parsing, it's far more robust. No, I did not install OpenVM tools, but I thought out of the box it did some of that. But maybe that's why because it does do the resizing, like it did the display sizing. I don't even know what it's like in. Yeah, what is the? So yay, hooray on the type parsing. That apparently works. Oh, the types of pointer enum. Again, yeah, you don't have to apologize, like Kat. This was like expected to have bugs and it's very early. This is also why this feature is not on dev yet. So if, for example, I edit this type by hitting Y, and let's make one of these 7. Although in this case, no, actually that's not going to matter because it's these that we would want to. Yeah, yeah. I'll leave the testing of that for later. Um, Open VM. Oh, it's VMware Tools. No, yeah, no. There's the open. It's open something, right? What is it? Open dash VM dash tools. Okay. But there is also, oh, whatever. Already installed. Yeah, already the latest version. I've rebooted a couple times, so it should be working. I mean, that's why, like I said, I can resize and whatnot, but not a big deal. Oh, also maybe that's why these visual glitches were happening too. I don't know. Not a big deal. That's what I get for. Um, Make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, once it turns into a much longer slog. Okay, so the fun is all at the beginning, and then you get the slog of all the little bug fixes and stuff. That always slows things down. But honestly, this is yeah, this feature is it's one. Uh-oh. Hey, remember you said you predicted a crash? I'm gonna say your prediction was correct. No, we're not on dev. That's the point. We're on the test branch. This is why it doesn't exist yet. Soon, though. Soon, this should be. Yes, you did. All right. Um, so, like I said, this is. There's a reason it's not there on dev yet, but hopefully before too long we'll finish putting it feature through its paces, um, and that will land. But that's going to be really nice. All right, let's go. Let's go back to our list. So this was let's look at just the high. Can I sort by this? Actually, here, can I make a copy? I have to log in, don't I? I don't want to mess with that. All right. So this is the M. Does M actually stand for macro? I don't even know what that actually means. uh, oh, we've been parsing C structs for a while, so we've always had C struct parsing. What's gotten better is the flexibility of the parsing. Like it used to be, for example, um, if you made a struct, no, actually let's do like if you actually made a new type and you told it struct foo uh whatever 10 and int 64t this whatever make some random struct and then you typed it right, or is it no here? See, I told you. This is why I get to write the Python and not the C in the program. Brackets are not allowed here. No, I think that was right, isn't it? Yeah, the array count and the struct member. I'm doing something else wrong. It's not decimal hex, is it? Expected name after. Now I think it's just the trailing one. Close. All right, let me see what everyone tells me. 6 to 8 months ago. Yeah, that was probably pre-Clang. So that was before we were using Clang. And I'd say, yeah, I was about to show you what the difference is. What you used to not be able to do was another name here or like foo here, right? Like if you did another that I forget the exact syntax, but that used to fail unless you exactly match the format of our old type parser. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this is the part. You used to be able to do not that, but now you can also do that. I think that's the part that changed. I'm doing something else wrong. Type def struct foo. It's telling me expected member or name semicolon 64. Is this? Yeah, I'm not sure what. No, the semicolon there is right. Yeah. Anyway. Right. Like I said, I'm bad at this stuff. This is why I would just look at one of these. You see, I should be able to do like a just struct, right? I thought you could just do that. Like the syntax is valid there. Right. Yes, chat and charge are different. Yeah, okay, so I didn't actually need the type def. I'm not sure what I was doing wrong on the other one. Maybe it was ES64T. Anyway, so this is, now I can also turn off the auto types and you can see the one I just added. So that you could always do. What got fixed is this. That's the part that you couldn't do before. So there was some syntax that you couldn't do before. Yeah, this was like a keyword, so that's what I get for typing. Yeah, typing stuff. But now that this stuff is backed by Clang, it is significantly more robust. So the type parsing as well. Oh, speaking of which, let's show that off because that's also new. Import header file. I don't. It's in the menus as well, but you can now just import a header file, and you can go grab some header file and just throw it directly in. It used to be that required an API. In fact, that I believe is somewhere on this list. It's too many things on the list to go through directly. But yeah, that was also one of the things that was like, oh, if I just have a header of files, I want to throw them into the type thing and have a match. In fact, one of the things that Peter's working on a test branch of his is the ability to say like import this header file, and also if any of the names match functions I've already got in my thing, apply the types to that function. Like if it's a function pointer type with like a prototype and arguments and return, like just please go apply that. So this is very much improved as well. And actually, this is the first time I don't think I've played with this one at all. I don't have a good header to throw onto this particular file. Can you have 0 types and only use the ones you provide? I'm not sure I follow the question. Oh, that's a good idea. Good call. Yeah, let's export it. Let's export a type. So like I've got my foo. Let's export a header file. And sure, but let's put it in my home folder, ls.h. And so it's going to do all the auto and the, that's a good point. There's no way to choose whether you can do auto or user, but kind of makes sense. It just gives all the types, because if you only did user, you might not get all the dependencies. So it exports all of these types, and then you can import that to another file. Yeah, so it's another workaround too for like just porting types between files. Export it into one, and then go open bin bash, and then actually let's try this. Import header file. ls.h. Can I preview it? Actually, do I have to browse it? Let's see here. There. Oh, no, I want to. Oh, actually, wait. I think can it do a cursor like that? Hold on, where is the file? I thought it was. Yeah, it's ls.h. Is this a Qt thing? Like, why isn't it not showing it? That's weird. I don't know why the file picker wasn't showing it. That's kind of random. Ooh, okay. Let's see here. Huh. Interesting. So it's trying to add in a bunch of like the Binja type systems built-ins. Do I click include system types then? Will that make it? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't actually used this one recently. Yeah, let me try another one. All right, so let's see what else. What else do we got over here? Yeah, let's throw this whole thing in. That's a good way to send it over here. Netcats. Listen 8888 into test.h. netcat cats. See if that actually sends the file or if I have a weird firewall somewhere. Oh, this is the networking here by default is going to be the other way around. Let's do it the other way around. So host name. All right, let's do it the other way. Let's do netcat jmax.v0.land. This is like super lazy person way of sending files around. Did I do that right? Should have been right. Result right? It's result. Is the right port number? No, something's wrong with my local netcat. Like I can't connect to my own local box either. I wonder if there's, I don't, there we go. Okay. Wrong syntax. Okay. So try again. Oh, come on. Yeah, the problem is, oh, right, just SCP'd over. Wait, no, I can't do that either. So the reason I can SCP over, I have like 3 machines in front, actually 4. Yeah, like pastebin is actually where I'm going to go here now. Because we'll just go grab a pastebin. Create new paste. All right. Pastebin.com. See if we typed it right. All right, looks like it. Is there? Oh, there's a download button. Fantastic. Cool. So all right, now, so let's load spoiler.h. Can we parse it? I don't know if I need to include system types or not, or use built-in macros. I'm gonna try it without it. Some redefinitions and visual glitches. You know what? BRB, I'm gonna go shut this VM down and turn off those GPU acceleration because I'm kind of tired of the visual glitches. Yes, bye-bye, Firefox. All right. Power off. Yes, power off. VMware. Display. Do not accelerate 3D graphics. Go. See if that fixes it. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if the static, if I can just grep out the static asserts, or if they were, I didn't look at the syntax more than that. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, okay, so we could try this. We were doing the test branch. We don't need to be for this particular feature. So that's is on dev right now. So the ability to, I really should also pull some PE files here too. The ability to import header files, export header files is actually on dev currently. So let's see, it was out.h, I think. Oh yeah, does browse work now? Wait, you gotta be kidding me. Why is it showing like, where I put the files? Oh. No, I put it in the home folder. Why? Oh, interesting. It defaults to ls.h. I think this file picker, no, I'm really confused. I have no idea why this file picker is not working. That makes no sense to me. That seems super jank. I don't know if that's just busted on Linux and nobody's used it yet. I shouldn't be on a 32-bit binary. I should be on a 64-bit, right? But that's a good question. bv.platform. No, it's a 64-bit. So it is a 64-bit random file that I opened up that I'm loading this into. All right, whatever. We're just going to call it out.h. Please parse, preview. All right, so there's a couple of other bugs. Redefinition ones in particular. 3215. We made it to line. Oh, wow. Yeah. No, there is definitely some not valid type stuff in here. Like this just bare file path. So it's the same error line, and then the redefinitions are also going to be problematic. But so yeah, I'm going to chalk those errors up to not the type parser's fault, but otherwise, if we removed all the redefinitions, actually, hold on, you know what? Let me just pull out 3215. Let's just pull off everything from that downward and just do the rest of it. Just for kicks. So let's just do the first half of the file. Can I preview it now? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it basically can parse it. Yeah, you just there's a couple invalid things and it's redefining some stuff which isn't valid, but otherwise, yeah, it's parsing the whole thing. And then I think this I don't know if is this the new thing that Peter added where the exists already, or is that always been there? I don't actually remember that. Yeah, I haven't used this particular dialog a lot, so. Oh yeah, true, and that's yeah. You can add in compiler flags here because again, this is a full Clang system. You can add in stuff into here. Oh, if I defined the target, then that would have let some of those pragmas and stuff work. That's a good point. So if there's still was it here? Where was it? Yeah, this one. So like if I rewrite, anyway, it's not a big deal. We don't have to kind of keep messing with that too much. But in general, the type parser is far more capable and should be able to handle just about anything reasonably you can throw. If like Clang can parse it, technically this thing can do it too. Worst case, you need to throw in some compiler flags or whatnot. But yeah, so it's well, there's that one line. That one line in the middle it's literally just a file path. It looks almost like two files got concatenated with like a path to one of them in the middle or something. So I think there's something else in that file, but otherwise, yeah, that's fun. I've not actually seen that one yet either, too. So okay, I think that was also like I said on the list. Let's go back and look through here real quick. Save and load layouts, that's fixed. Nampa actually got a fix to it. I think either I issued a PR or they fixed it on their own. Little like low priority. I'll skip all the low priority. What's medium or higher? Oh yeah, errors from parse type from source file. Well, one, you don't need to use parse type from source file. You have this now, and you have all the errors very explicit, verbose. So super big improvement there. What else is medium? A crash that's not there. Yep. Oh, ability to import types directly. So we have not only the one we just showed, we also have an IDB import. It's not very good. So I wouldn't recommend the IDB import right now as production ready. But I did actually play with a couple of other workflows here too, which is nice. Specifically, if you go to the IDC importer. So there's actually an older Binja plugin. It's actually been around for a while. And I had not tried it for whatever reason. And I went and actually gave it a whirl. Yeah, it was originally from 4 years ago. It works actually quite well. So you can, from IDA, just export your stuff as IDC, and then this plugin lets you load that straight into a Binja database. There are two, when you go to export, there was like there's two types of exports. Yeah, and you should only import the IDC for a particular binary because it's going to try to match function names and types of particular addresses and stuff. So that's the current way it works. But there's two different IDC exports, and I don't remember which one worked, but that was actually a pleasant surprise that that one works as well too now. So there's several different ways. This is one that we have not implemented. This like peeking other panes. I still think that's a kind of interesting idea. But you can pop out panes to new tab. You can save your layouts. Syncing between tabs is really, really good. Very accurate. Oh, right. There's a, yeah, that was already actually done. I didn't even read it. What, hi, okay. Windows type libraries, yes, except for kernel, right? So except for kernel, those are the Windows type. All the Windows userland types are done. The libc stuff is currently in progress, but kernel does remain. So that actually is a little bit of a lie. That could be orangish because there's a few things left there. But hey, there it is. Yeah, being able to import header files via the UI, done. It's really good. Also, just it's now compatible because of Clang, out of order structures, existing type in general. That is, yes. That is 100% solved. Very good. Yeah, so this is actually something that's still not done is sort of. There is no like ability to say within Binja, this is a variadic function, handle the arguments in this particular way, like via a custom helper. But there is this plugin, which I just added like a week ago, not even, which specifically will annotate all of the various printf family of things and automatically set the parameters correctly. So all of the printf functions, you can just run this plugin once and it essentially fixes them all. It sets all the types. So you always had the ability to like select a, let's see. Let's find out. Great, there's one. Okay, so you always had the ability to say like, oh look, this thing takes one more parameter, so actually Binja already got it right. But if it didn't, you could always do override call type, and this was specifically what it's designed for. You see the default says like, I know these parameters, and then var args like figure it out. There's a bunch of parameters here. Binja got it right. It didn't need to be told that, but in case you wanted to like on some other platforms, it can be harder to guess. The analysis might be wrong. You could put what was it, %s? So yeah, char star message or whatever we want to call it. You can override that, and then it will change the number of arguments there. Although I think it didn't change. It didn't name it, which is interesting. All right. Override call type. Override call type. Yeah, so it sets the numbers, but actually I just noticed it doesn't actually name it the way that it names the other ones. There's just some more chatter in Discord I'm missing. Okay, so so that plugin though makes that a lot easier. So that's not solved in the sense that it would be nice to be able to like just specify a number of arguments via a hotkey instead of having to like manually type it, but I don't think that's blocking anything, and the plugin actually makes that kind of not needed most of the time anyway, which is nice. It just auto solves them all. This, I believe, is possible with section permissions, but I need to double check that. With Brian, let's see, here's a medium one. Oh yeah, if we had a UI, yeah, it's exactly what it says. It's like if we only had a UI for changing segments or sections. We do. There is a UI where you can see all the permissions and all the settings for segments and sections. The only downside is I think if it's a built-in one, you can't directly edit the properties. You have to like make a new one to duplicate it. So the workflow around that's not as good as I would like, but it's there. It's much better than before. Even just being able to see segments and sections in the memory map is nice. Some better workflows around that are coming with like the embedded release, which is coming up. We already talked about our macro key. And I already kind of mentioned the onboarding workflow, like to customize the layout or hotkeys or whatever. That's definitely coming. And CRT libraries are in development. Like I said, that's actually expected in the next just couple of weeks. It's like the last one. So Just that particular list was super fun to look back and see that yeah we've made a lot of progress on those, in addition to like whole bunches of other stuff kind of along the way. So that's obviously not the only thing we've been doing, but I thought that would be a fun way to look at it. I kind of was gonna go back and dig through the archives to actually look at the exact binary. And I don't remember if I think I have a copy of it somewhere. Let me see if I can find. I want to see the binary that Sergey was working on. That would have been. Let's see. I know I have. Something gave me a hint as to the date because I thought it was like end of November of last year. Let me see if I can find it. Later, Fox. Good to see you as always. Thanks for hanging out. I like that line. Don't turn evil, especially overnight. All right, let me see here. I bet I can just look at our Slack. There's that one. I always try to drop the binaries into the Vector 35 Slack anytime I'm watching an OA Lab stream. Oh, you know what? No, this wasn't November. It's been less than a year. Or was it? Let me see. Okay, yeah, it might have been later. Yeah, I think it was actually later in the year. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, if you've like ORed them, I mean, I think as long as the UI still showed them as separate constants, right, you should be able to see them both. It might, yeah, I don't. That's a good question though. Does if high level IL has simplified it, does it also show them as ORed constants? That's a great test, fast call. That's a good point. We should add that to our testing list. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I didn't save that exact binary, so that'll probably be a little bit harder to go back and dig through. So it's not a big deal for now. But um, yeah, all right. So I kind of want to like, what else should we do? Now is when I'm bringing over the caffeine. I specifically got water and I got caffeine, just so I would have more energy. I'm known for being a very low energy person, so clearly I should get caffeine, right? Oh yeah, if you've got it, I just don't remember the day of it is the problem. Like I don't remember exactly when it was. But if you know which stream it was, oh yeah, no, it was in the name of the stream, I think. Oh, but it's not a YouTube one. It would be one of the Twitch ones. Yeah, so it might be easier to search through it if you've got it. In the meantime, I should set up my ability to like load it into the VM, which means I am going to change my network settings for this particular host to not be shared, but to do bridged. Will that work? Let's try that. Yeah, if the binary hash isn't there, it'll be tricky. I've got it probably too. I know I mirrored it into our Slack internally so that other people in the company could like reproduce some of the stuff. Um, Although I think the vast majority of like the comments weren't issues with that binary per se. Like some of the type stuff is kind of, but it was just more generic. Um, so wait, what was that? Sorry, I just saw it was like a YouTube video of somebody choking. What? Oh no, he's just got his arms crossed. Why by Ida? Path of Cybersec. I don't remember seeing that video. I'll have to go check that out later. Anyway, um, all right. So I think that's it for that list. What else do we want to do? So you know what we should do? Okay, everybody listen. Let's tell Fox that I did Crazy Bomb after they left. All right. Like, yeah, it was great. Jordan opened up Crazy Bomb. It was so good. Let's make sure we just like talk up how great it was and how perfect it was, just a lovely solve. And then we'll just end the VOD. Yeah, that thumbnail is something else. I've been told I need to do better thumbnails for my videos, which is probably not wrong because I don't actually do any right now. So actually, let's go grab no. I do want to grab a like a Windows PE file though. So let me go to like Malshare and just find my API key. I will need to put it off stream. Oops. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I've got my hybrid analysis login closer. So let's go grab something from there. Yeah, I really want to try out some login. Yeah, I want to try out some PE files. Let's give them a whirl and just start poking through them. Thanks, Defender. Microsoft Defender just let me know on my box that does the streaming. I think there's like a recent, isn't there? All right, so malicious unknown file collection, 100 files. They're all malicious. No, that's JavaScript. I want some executables. Give me something good. Suspicious. Actually, I feel like I should just be able to go. I thought there was a recent list. Let's go look through here. Oh. Yeah, Shusheng, I started wearing glasses because I'm old now. I don't need him to drive, but I need him to read on the computer. And I've tried to like make it so the lights, as soon as I look up though, yeah, the lights are all full of glare. Yeah, I haven't been on. So for context, Shusheng is one of the Vector 35 employees. Oh, in fact, that reminds me. Yeah, Shusheng's been working on the debugger, which that's actually another good one to point out. So oh, that's a good question. Yeah, so like if you've got a binary with a stack alignment's wrong, it pops open that dialog and says, okay, so this was actually Shusheng, if you remember the last test build that had the most recent debugger stuff in it, that would be helpful. If you can just put it in chat or in the stream channel on our Slack, so I can switch to that. So that's I wanna look at that though real quick because I know what you're talking about. There's like a special warning that will pop up if Binary Ninja can tell, right, if at the beginning of a function and at the end of the function, it's been tracking the stack pointer. So anytime there's like movement on the stack or you add some arguments or something, if the stack pointer isn't properly aligned when you go to return and it's not the same place where it was at the beginning when the like save EBP happened, like push EBP or whatever, it will be like, hey, by the way, like your stack got misaligned. Usually because there is like, you could have it happen. Usually it's because you're calling some other function like call cleanup and that did something weird, or on some architectures, it's always maybe call cleanup, or if you had the equivalent of like a calloc, and you don't know the size of it, but the compiler did because like all the past there's a couple like situations where that could happen. But you get like this big like warning. It's like warning, like stack misaligned. You click here, and it brings up this really nice GUI for letting you resolve and figure out that. But I don't think you can. Like I literally think the answer is there isn't one, and so that's honestly an issue. You should just file that and say, hey, I got the stack misalignment warning. I did it, but I think I did it wrong, and I want to fix it and do it again. You could undo. That would be one. Oh, perfect. 4400. Oh, that's right. I remember. So actually, I'm going to save off this build. And that one was, well, no, I don't need to save that one. That's fine. I don't think we need to look at that dialog again now. Soon enough, it's going to be on dev, and we'll be able to get it that way. All right, so we're going to get the dev build 4400. And now, just to check out the latest debugger, because the debugger it should be back on very soon and enabled by default. We found a couple of really like nitpicky bugs that we could cause it to hang or crash. Oh, cool. Flare on a fifth challenge. Okay. But yeah, but actually, please file a Binja GitHub issue, or if you don't want to, ask in one of our other Vector 35 people in channel, or I'll make a note and we'll get to it later. Because oh man, I love how fast the updates are nowadays. Like I forget how quickly they are. Well, I had to go back and do some testing for a really old bug, and I went like prior to whenever Rusty made the fast update switching check, and it was just like, oh, that's right, it used to be so much slower. So it's real fast to test. Okay, so I think you'd still, and as of this test build, I still need to turn the debugger on. But by the time it lands on dev next, I think it'll just be on by default again. So the debugger's back. So I think like Shishon, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the stuff won't be user noticeable, like the actual features in the UI. So like here's BenLS. Let's run that. Debugger run. So let's launch it. Let's get it up. You won't see new fancy features unless you haven't used the debugger in a while, in which case it will be fairly different. There's a lot of nice things it's improved. But what will happen, it used to be there was like a bunch of race conditions. And so let's actually low level IL, yeah. And let's step into, because I want to call into the, well, no, let's do this. I think main should get a breakpoint, and then let's run. So we've run into main, and then we're going to step into, yeah, let's just step into. So it used to be you could get into these, like if you were just constantly spamming step, you would get these hangs in the UI. And it was just essentially race conditions between LLDB as the backend and the way it's async and the Binja like UI. And so right now, and also, yeah, you can see the register values updating nicely, showing you what's changed every time we step. So this is like one of our tests of like, oh yeah, is the debugger, like we fix the spam as fast as I can. Okay, I can't crash it. That's good. This is good. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, Shishung, will you make a note of that? Specifically the hotkey for whatever that action is, like whatever resume is, right? F9 should be shown in the tooltip. That said, yeah, I mean you should be able to query the action system. I just want to make sure that it's not, we don't want to hard code it, because you can change the hotkey for that, right? Like I could go in here and change the hotkey to something else, and so I want to make sure it's actually showing the live value on the tooltip and not just a hard coded thing. But that's a very, oh, it's already an issue. Okay, great, good. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Oh, the IDB import. Welcome, Arnaud. Wait, are you Arnaud of Hexrace fame? Or are you just a different Arnaud? But the IDB import was kind of backburnered. It was removed. It was too buggy. and so we removed it. So actually, I just mentioned earlier in the call um, that there is that actually I was using IDC import the last time I needed to do that. It is in progress. A improved version of the IDB import, so it is coming. I'm trying to see, or not your profile picture to see if because I met um oh, okay. All right. Oh, nice. Oh, there we go. Nice to yeah, to see your tiny profile picture from across the room. Um Nora's super active on the Vigil Slack, but you are not with Hexrace. So all right. Yeah, the IDB import is temporarily disabled again. It's coming back and it will be much more resolved, much fixed and improved. So that should be good. Um, yeah. No, it was there. It was there, and then it was just too buggy, and so we took it out. Basically, we decided it shouldn't have been there, and it's gonna get more polish. Um, but what you can do, like I said, is there's a plugin called the IDC importer, and that actually worked fairly well for me. So you might want to check that out. That plus the fact that the new import header dialog is there now. So if you want to export things as like a header file and then import. Although I've noticed like the export from IDA is like not valid C, like pretty badly not valid C. I don't know if there's a way to get that coerced. So yeah, this is good to see. The debugger is kind of going to be back. Like it's always been usable, and it's always been, it just was, there was a couple of like gotchas that why we kind of turned it off by default. And so you had to go into your settings to turn it on, but that's gonna be back on. And yeah, let me know. And also Nor, I would love to know how to pronounce your name, because I like we talk about you, like, stuff you said in Slack all the time. So I'm always curious about how to pronounce people's names. So debugger's gonna be back. IDB import actually is, that's a good question, Glenn. You mentioned IDC or IDB import. Is that one on the, where did I put it? I don't remember if that was on the roadmap or not for this next milestone. It's so convenient. These are all public, so I have to be logged into anything to like fresh VM. Not a problem. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. There you go. No R. No R. No R. No R. Um. So that is actually, yeah. In fact, I think it got closed and then reopened. Maybe. Yeah, it was closed and then reopened, but that is on the short term. So that was definitely coming. Yeah, I mean, it should be working much better. In fact, you'll notice we also added an import from Ghidra. We want to make it easier to migrate. We've had a lot of people lately have been really just had a long call today with a company that's like talking about moving their entire team over, and so a lot of people want a better workflow for, I've got a bunch of existing stuff. How do I bring it over to a Vigil workflow? So that is something we want to make even easier. Oh wait, no, this is Braze. This is not Arrakis. Sorry. That's another fun thing too. I don't know if people have noticed, but we used to have numbers on um, uh, our releases, and we've gone to names. And so yeah, so they're alphabetical. We're gonna go through the alphabet a bit like Ubuntu does with their animals, but we're gonna do it with science fiction and fantasy planet names because we're geeks and we thought that'd be fun. So I'm actually really curious if chat, actually, yeah, I'm really curious. Can anybody name all of the like authors of all of these worlds, like off the top of their head? Some of them I think are pretty easy. I'm curious. I like how many people are actually, do we have? I should pull up the chat because I'm curious how many people are here. Do we have enough to solve this? No, the one that was talking to you today was all Ida was coming over. Yeah, sorry, Kat. We there was some hotly debated. Braze is probably the most subtle one on this list. Um, but Yeah. So okay. So Arrakis is in a movie that just came out too. So that's a book and a movie. Um, the if you does anybody, you don't have to know the author of that necessarily. Do you know like the movie or the book that that came from? It's a desert planet. Future. A lot of planets named Future. Hey, Piston Miner. Um, yeah, we should probably just rename Future like Xanadu or something like that. Just throw it at the end of the alphabet, which would still only last us a couple of years maybe, but I guess it lasted us a little while before we got there. Yeah, so workflows are not super easy to write yourself, but they're really powerful. And yes, very good. Yep, exactly. So Arrakis is the desert planet in Dune. Frank Herbert wrote the original. His son Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson are writing all of the Future the Rapper. Yeah, we should actually just start naming them after rap songs or rappers. I don't know. Like I said, we're a bunch of nerds. So that's Arrakis. Braze is more subtle. Braze is from the Cosmere, Brandon Sanderson world, his whole universe. Coruscant and Dorsai. Dorsai is also probably pretty subtle. Not a lot of people know that one. Um, but I pulled yeah, to braise meat, and it's actually in world in Cosmere. It's like the hell planet where everyone's on fire and being tortured and stuff. So it's appropriately named apparently. And then Coruscant is actually, that's Star Wars, right? I don't know in particular who you'd attribute the naming of the planet to. I guess Spielberg or something. Um, Wait, Spielberg's not Star Wars. Star Wars is Lucas. Sorry, George Lucas. Brain fart. Anyway, so back to sorry, I got nerd sniped by myself. The naming, the why we're doing this is because we were finding ourselves trying to like fit releases into numbered milestones, and then we wanted like 3.2 is the Windows release, and I'm like, well, yeah, but then we put like one of the embedded features, the memory map that was originally slated further out, into the earlier release. Um, and then some of the features that we wanted in the Windows release slipped to the next release. So like SEH handling, for example, or the Windows kernel thing, stuff that didn't land. And then we're like, well, do we really call it the Windows release if it's so anyway, we were kind of debating about the naming. We're still planning on having these sort of thematic releases and really trying to focus like a bunch of fixes for a particular problem. But if one of them doesn't make it in, it's fine. It can go to the next release. It's still the Coruscant. So like Coruscant in particular knows already has 70 open issues because Coruscant in particular is what was the embedded release. Like it's a lot of features focused on the embedded workflow. Um, and so there's a bunch of things that we've kind of thrown in that one, and these will get moved around too. Like so, something that's like Arrakis is pretty well done. Like that's a much smaller release. We specifically wanted to get a um, Cosmic Cuttlefish. That is a good name. I assume that wasn't the Ubuntu one, was it for C? Yes, thank you, Lucas. Yeah, I mean, it's a trademark issue if we're causing confusion, but I don't think anybody is confusing Binary Ninja releases with. So it's not a copyright issue because it's too short, and it's only a trademark issue if we're causing confusion. And I think if we're just referring to other things, it's probably okay. We'll find out. And it's not like we actually put it in the UI of the product itself. It's literally just in this GitHub tracking page. Is the only place it's going to show up. I guess maybe on the blog post where we talk about it, we might call it that, but. We'll see. Cosmic Cuttlefish is a fantastic name. It's like so good. It was like Cosmic Crisp Apples. So yeah, so the Arrakis release is going to be kind of a smaller one. And like I said, we've got a good. Oh, there's another one that I was just remembering that might make it in this one or might be in Braze. I don't know if we have it. I just like saying the names this way too. I'm pretty happy to be able to do that. It's easier to remember. So there's the imports. Oh, there we go. Type workflow improvements, default improvements. There's another one. Oh, I know. Okay, RISC-V. Default support for RISC-V is needs to be in one of these two, either Braze or Arrakis. I think is the plan for it. Um, we are sort of we always have like a hiring page open. Um, but we don't actively. So the reason that we do that is like if we find the right person, we never want to say no. excuse me, and like not be able to hire somebody, but we're not like right now we need somebody to do a particular piece of work. We're really looking forward to it. So we're kind of generally like always interviewing, um, but but not always like actively looking to fill a hole. So we love to always talk to people, and we'll tell you like if when you reach out, we're like, yes, we specifically need somebody. We've got a particular piece of research we're working on, and we need somebody to work on it, or like, oh, we're just kind of like And right now we're in the like just generally looking one. Binary Ninja Sorcerer. I don't know. We should have called it Binary Sorcerer. That would have been a good name. Because, sorcerer. Yeah, except you spelled it like the magician. You got to do SOUR, just like we have sorcery. Pwn Adventure Sorcery. Sorcery.pwnadventure.com. Yeah, spell it like that. See? There you go. And now I better kill it before the sound starts. I think Firefox muted it by default, but um so yeah, so that's what we're doing with the releases there. You can kind of keep track of that. There should be, yeah. Yeah, you also see we kind of pushed back this specific embedded release to we want to get in some of these decompiler improvements and some of these type workflow improvements and the ability to import from IDB and from IDA and Ghidra. We wanted to put them in before we put in like the embedded release. That's the other reason we go with planet names, because if we do it with via numbers. Somebody said binary sorcerer. KGF said it, right? Yes, Cat wants to be no longer the new person on the totem pole. Um, but the AI created the tool. Wait, what AI tool? Oh, I missed. Yeah, I missed. I missed your Chat GPT stream. I assume this is a reference to that. I gotta catch up on that one. Chat GPT is startlingly effective, but the amazing thing about, okay, so here's a good question. I would love to actually hear feedback from chat, because this is something we're debating a lot about, like Chat GPT. And speaking of which, if you haven't seen Open AI, so there's a bunch of plugins people have been building to like query. Oh, is this? Yeah, there's a couple of platforms that like the default Python can't install dependencies. I don't remember why. Pip3. Is there a pip? Pip. That's why it didn't work. I almost set the wrong password. Okay. Seriously, just to get pip? Are you kidding me? That's outrageous. No wonder that wasn't working. There's a bunch of plugins now specifically to like query GPT for functions, and oh, that's amazing. Yeah, reverse engineering, that you're gonna get like highlighted a lot if you had like any kind of highlights on with that handle in other channels. I would highly recommend something more distinct. That's funny. Binary sorcery is like it's pretty good. That's a pretty good name by the AI. 0 days around ethicals. Um, okay, so yeah, it's funny too, and like the script is like, no, I couldn't do that. That would be unethical. There's a couple of like responses I get that. So let's restart. What was this? No, it didn't crash. It just restarted. Oh, the hung process crashed. Yes, because I had hung it and then I restarted the debugger. That'll do it. Pip install OpenAI. There we go. I do like the pip will default to user now if you're not sudoing it. That's actually pretty great. So I think this will just work now. I think I probably could actually reinstall with the plugin manager. Let me do it now too. So if I ask, oh, let's get a sample over there. I need to load up something new into the VM. All right, what's the Mm. Oh, man, I forget the IP adder, HW adder. I forget what they changed it to. All right, there we go. Yeah, this should be reachable. Okay, so I should be able to like SSH it now. Ping from the other VM or the other machine that is. Oh no, I'm leaking private internal IPs. So dangerous. I mean, there extra are categories of attack that enables though, right? Like if you've got like DNS rebinding attacks and stuff, and you have better aiming on like that, you can actually do a little bit more effectively. So although if you want our source code, just go get um, oh, stage 2. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Oh there, those were DMs. I missed that before. Oh, these were enum generations generated by ChatGPT. All right, so let's see here. Now, how do I copy this file over? Does this work? Ping that. I can ping it. Can I SSH to it? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. Stage 2. Cool, SSH works. So that did actually fix that problem. Do stage 2.bin. And this is one that comes with, so this was the test binary that, yeah, that's right. We were looking at ChatGPT. One of the things that the usages we did of it. Oh, this is like a straight up bin. This is like not even a file. Um, no predicted architecture detected? Really? I'm gonna try x86, x64. Huh. Is that right? What is this file? That's unusual. That's really unusual for the architecture detection to not even pick it up. And what are all the 51s? I don't know what this is. Is this? Hold on. No, this doesn't look like. No, that's not real code. What is this file? What did you send me? Now I'm really confused what I got. Let me see. Oh, it's AR64. Oh, okay. That makes far more sense. And in fact, yeah, so like looking for like ease is a good trick. That makes more sense. But now I'm still fairly surprised because the default architecture detection is actually usually really good about that and will actually automatically identify the architecture without you having to tell it. Um, yeah, but those inline const that's what those yeah, those were inline constants, which is why they were like interspersed in the analysis. Okay, so now let's try this. Let's like feed Chat GPT what it ate itself. So these are the type information. It was like a little bit of source code made presumably with like SCC, and then oh, I just realized I should SSH copy ID to that host, and that will save me some typing. Okay. So if I cat types.text. So there's some types. Let's insert said types. Actually, wait, no. What am I doing? We have import header. And just do that. Interesting. We've redefined orange. Yeah, but only in the enum value. That shouldn't matter, right? Is that not actually valid? Will it not let me import that as a result? Huh. I thought you could have that, right? Well, let's just do that in the meantime to do that. But that feels weird. Like that doesn't. I don't know. I'll ask somebody else who's better with C types in the future what I'm doing wrong. Oh, well, there we go. I am wrong. Like I said, this is why I don't touch the C or C++ in the core. Yeah. Q, 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 Q. It makes sense. Makes sense. It's yeah. In like C++, right, you have classes and scope where you could do it, but not in C. So okay. So like now, let's see, OpenAI. All right, where's the plugin? What does this function do? High level IL. Yeah, I should probably look at high level IL. And does that let's see this? None of these types match up with. So this was just a really simple test binary to test the Enum workflow. So there's oh yeah, there's a bunch of these ors as well too. But the type yeah the type sizes need to be set right so that we can do that. But I'm actually curious. Um, yeah, unimplemented instructions though. TLBI. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to implement that either. And these are like intrinsics, right? Um, what is that? Yeah, we could go find 250. Is it actually hex 250 or decimal 592? Oh, you mean offset 250? Probably you mean offset 250? Oh, the function. Yeah. Yeah, if we want to like, ask chat to OpenAI, what does this function do in high level IL? It does nothing unless you give it your key, which I need to do that off stream. Actually, I think let me look in the plugin source because there's two. You can do an environment variable and you can do a setting in the UI image. Oh, OpenAI, it tells me OpenAI. Okay. Is it dot? I think that's wrong. I'm pretty sure the code checks in dot OpenAI actually. Let's go look at the code because I think I've seen this plugin's code. Source settings dot open. Oh, maybe it doesn't do dot. I think it still looks in the folder, right? Hold on. Or does it only use the binge settings now? Yeah, it only uses binge settings, but I don't want to show my settings on stream. I don't want you all to use my OpenAI key to run up a bill. Asking for hilarious reverse engineering summaries written in the voice of a gangster. Or, oh yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier. I'm actually curious, while I fiddle with getting my OpenAI key into here, um, in the chat, like what percentage of a tool has to be right versus wrong, right? And what I mean specifically is like if a tool gives you a right answer 80% of the time and doesn't know 20% of the time, that's perfectly fine. It can give you a right answer. I do have a paid OpenAI AI key, not for ChatGPT. I use it for like Dolly and other stuff, like randomly, just to fiddle with. So my API key has that associated with my account. So you could actually run up a bill with my OpenAI key. Oh no, my 10.42 address. Whoa, I'm so exposed. You're going to get me. So, but the question, like, I think this is a really useful like question. if a reversing tool gave you a correct answer 80% of the time and didn't know 20%, it can give you a correct answer 20% of the time and just didn't know or gave you nothing the other 80%, that's fine. But if it gives you a correct answer 50% of the time and something blatantly incorrect 50% of the time, that's not really helpful. In fact, that's arguably worse than giving you no answer. Because like you can never make any assumptions if you have to validate every bit of information you get, and it's a coin flip. So like, okay, well, what if it's 80% right and 20% confidently wrong? And so like that's I think what's interesting. Um, um, there's a couple of built-in call graph features. I actually prefer this one. So there's a call tree plugin from Eric, which is my preferred. So if I open up something slightly bigger and I use this one, this is my main, and I find something that actually has calls. Like, I like this tree kind of format more, but there's also an actual call graph plugin that generates a call graph. So what's the name of the action? Generate call graph. So let's see. Is it main? Yeah, there we go. Generate call plugin. Oh, wait a minute. That looks like a bug. Oh, does it need to be reloaded? Sometimes the plugin needs to be reloaded. Selection target. Okay. Yeah, so colors or call graph. So if I want like the call graph starting at start, I could do that. And like, well, there you go. It's not super useful in this case, but there's a call graph of every call that starts at that and goes to all these other ones. There's other ones that are like more interactive, where like you explore and open and close, kind of like a proximity view in IDA. I don't like any of these, and I actually worked on adding this one into the plugin manager. But like I said, this is actually why I prefer the call tree one. I think it's just more usable. So like for main, you want to see all the outgoing calls as like a tree view. I feel like that's filtering it, whatever. I feel like that's easier to work with. Yeah, so exactly like that's sorry, I kind of get off topic with the call graph stuff. But yeah, that's exactly my concern, is that like if something is blatantly and confidently incorrect, like which is totally the case with ChatGPT, you can get very wrong answers that it confidently states, and then we'll explain why it's right when it's not. And so that's the problem right now with it. Like it is mind blowing how good it is, but when it's wrong, like you don't know if like you either know, in which case you didn't need to ask it the question in the first place, or you don't know and you're going to be led down the wrong path. And so like that's the problem with the current system. Now I think it's going to get fixed, and there are already other like machine learning models and things where they have confidence and they can work that kind of into things. So yeah, like it needs to, like if there was a tool that would name 30% of my functions always the correct name, but only could do 30%, that's still super valuable, because that's 30% of the file I don't have to now manually reverse if I can trust it. So I feel like that trust is really important. That accuracy rate has to be really, really high. So yeah, anyway, I'm curious, because like, so yeah, like this exact like oh yeah, oh, sorry, I got distracted. Me get distracted? No. Okay, so SCP API key streambox.local. All right, so huh? Why is it asking for the wrong username? Oh, whatever. Okay, so there's my API key, which this says goes in. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this off camera. Hi everyone. You can look back at me just for a second while I put this API key in. How's everyone's evening going? Did I get the key? API key. I have the key. All right. copy, settings, OpenAI, chat. What was the name of the setting? It added a setting. Let's see, plugins. Let's just symlink it to both file names. So one of them will be right. Okay. I think that does it. Let's see. Let's try it now. Any Twitter user? There's some really smart Twitter users. Oh man, I want that to be true. Honestly, you deserve to run up my bill a little bit if you got it off my glasses. I mean, it's pretty high def. Yeah, I love it's funny, although like actually trying to like keep secrets while live streaming is kind of hard. Like there's so many ways you can leak stuff and forget things. All right, so can I now use this summary? So let's first just try the little one and plug in OpenAI. What does this function do? Hello. You exceeded your current quota. No, API key detected. Reading API. Oh, okay, so it got the API. Thank you for not debug printing my API key. So it didn't do that at least. I should have probably tested this beforehand. I don't think that should be true. I've got a paid account. I should be able to have more queries. Anyway, but yeah, that's there's also the other one too. So if you're actually curious in this stuff, there's the and Binary Ninja has the OpenAI plugin. There is Ideala. Let's see, Smahalosing. Yeah, Zion's done it. What's the project name? Repositories. Yeah, it's like DALI, but so this one is actually Binja, Ghidra, IDA compatible if you want to play with this stuff more. Specifically meant to dump your and that one also, yeah, checks environment variable. Yeah, I need to actually submit a PR to them to have you use the Binja settings or yeah, whatever. Not a big deal. But this is kind of this one I expect will probably see the most development of this kind of stuff. But it's still a toy at this point, right? It's a really interesting toy and it's fascinating. And the question's going to be, when will it be usable, and in what use cases will it be usable, and what kind of queries do you need to do to be getting usable stuff out of it? And then when GPT-4 comes out, because this is still all backed on like GPT-3, which is several years old at this point. So GPT-4 has like orders of magnitude more parameters. So yeah, it'll be interesting. The quota was you. You filled up my quota on using my API key before I leaked it. Wait, we call it from Python 2? Is that what it's... Oh. Oh, that's just Ghidra. Yeah, that's just Ghidra things, right? I'm not calling it Ghidra. It's called Ghidra. Talk to the devs. They call it Ghidra. It was called Ghidra when I worked for a government contractor many years ago, and they used it inside the government. It's Ghidra. But anyway, yeah, that is painful. Use Python 2 to call Python 3. There's a couple other ways I think now that it's supposed to make that a little bit easier, but it's still not a real Python API. If you're gonna write a bunch of Ghidra scripts, just write Java. Your life will actually be easier. You just kind of got to drink the Kool-Aid all the way. No, on my deathbed, you can tear the Ghidra from my... There is no Ghidra. What is this business? I know, a lot of people say that, but I think they're wrong. Like I said, like you just go ask the actual devs. Go talk to all the NSA folks working on it, because I've only ever heard them say Ghidra. So yeah, that's another one. That's another fun plugin for people that want to tinker with this stuff. But yeah, we're thinking about it, and we've been working on some of the machine learning stuff for a while. So we've got uh, some upcoming like tech that uses some ML type stuff behind the scenes, but we've been wrestling a lot with that like error rate, right? Like what is an acceptable percentage that can be wrong? Is it okay if you have a confidence and you have high confidence and low confidence and you let the user tune it? Maybe they want it to go one way or the other. But I mean, yeah, the I think the analogy is very similar to people using decompilers. A lot of reversers don't like decompilers in general, like and haven't for years because when they started, decompilers were so error prone that for all the time that they saved you, they introduced errors enough that made your life terrible and people just like swore them off. So there's a lot of people that don't actually like use decompilers because they distrust them too much. Even though I would argue right now they're all pretty good enough and accurate enough that like it can and will save you a lot of time. But I mean, I get why people have that kind of perspective. So I think that will apply to any future ML type tech. But yeah, now, all right, yeah, me too. I'm gonna close down shop. It sounds like I'm being left in the office here soon, or at least people are heading out. So I think I'm gonna kind of close down for the day. That was a lot of fun though. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I liked doing. It was a little different than my normal stream, but it's fun looking at kind of where we've been. If I do another stream, maybe I'll do actually more of a recap of some of the other features because the rated dev and like the amount of things that that happened in the last year, it's bonkers. Like it's so crazy to me to think that like 3.0 was very beginning of this year. It's been less than a year since 3.0 came out, which seems like ages ago from our perspective, and there's been so many things that happened since then. So yes, thank you to you as well, Noir, and to everybody else. Happy if I don't come back for another stream in a few weeks. It was fun as always. I appreciate everybody kind of hopping in, and awesome. Yeah, we'll head out here, and we'll see you all. If not at the end of this year, we'll see you next year, one of the two. So take it easy.